The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Ethel Bunce.
Good morning.
Morning. We're doing some pruning for the electric company, and...
I beg your pardon?
We're pruning some of the branches on the trees along the road that interfere with the wires.
Oh, pruning. I didn't understand you, yes.
Well, is that big maple tree on your property?
That one?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, yes, that's on our property. Why?
Oh, pretty big hole in it.
Oh, yes, I know. My daughter loves it. She sits inside and calls it her secret hiding place.
Well, I don't think she's going to love it so much, nor will you if that tree topples down over your house.
What?
Well, that tree is in very bad condition, you know. Needs a lot of work done on it. Pruning and bracing and get that cavity filled. Oh, yeah. You get a good windstorm and, well, that tree's going to crash right down over on your house.
Oh, good heavens.
Well, I thought I'd better tell you. See, it's really none of our business. We're just going to prune a few of the smaller branches that interfere with your electric wires. But if I were you, I'd do something about that tree right away.
Oh, my. Well, yes, I guess we'd better. Honestly, that lovely maple, it's one of the prettiest trees here.
It'd be a crime to lose it.
Yes. Well, thank you. I'll tell my husband. Yes.
Well, if I were you, I'd call one of those big tree companies right away and have a man come out and give you an estimate. That is, if you want to save the tree.
Yes, I should say. I don't want it crashing over on us either.
No. It'll be quite an expense filling that cavity, you know, but it's either that or just have the tree cut down.
Oh, no. I love that maple tree.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I'll call a tree company right away. Thank you.
I was a teenage Jane, living on a tiled bathroom floor. We had a bull. Then our hostess found out about Lysol, and we had to beat it. Lysol kills germs.
Yes, it's true. Lysol kills disease germs and many deadly viruses on contact. A dash of Lysol brand disinfectant in your suds disinfects your bathroom from one cleaning to the next as nothing else can. Try Lysol when you clean your bathroom. Regular or wonderful new pine scent.
We need a new bathroom to live in. How about yours?
Look, I'm just telling you what the man said, so I called a tree company right away.
Well, that's ridiculous. That maple tree's as solid as a rock.
I'm telling you what the man said. I tried to call you first at your office.
Well, I was out all morning.
I know, so when I couldn't reach you, I thought, well, I'd better call a tree company. I certainly didn't want to let it go any longer, have it crash down on our new house.
Oh, for Pete's sake, it's not going to crash down on the house.
I'm telling you what the man said. You can't deny there's an enormous hole in the trunk. Why, Betsy can get right inside it.
Look, that tree's been standing there for years.
Well, anyhow, I called the tree company, and about 3 o'clock, 3 men showed up, and they walked around outside for about an hour talking, and then one of them came to the door, asked when you'd be home, and I said about 6.
What did he say about the tree?
Well, he said he'd talk to you about it in detail, but he said that it was in pretty bad shape.
Oh, golly, he did, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful tree.
I know. I just hate to lose it.
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to fill in that trunk with some cement. Probably make the tree last longer.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't think it's going to fall over in a windstorm, but it might strengthen it to fill in that cavity.
Well.
Hey, where's the flashlight? I'll go out and take a look at it.
Oh, well, don't be long now. Dinner's ready, and the man said he'd drop over tonight and talk to you. Betsy, wash your hands, dear. Dinner's ready. Yes, indeed. Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Dear. Oh, dear. The man from the tree company is here. Mr.
Birch.
Dear, this is Mr. Birch from the tree company.
Oh, well, Mr. Birch.
Mr. Piper?
With a name like that, I guess you're in the right business.
Oh, yes.
I suppose you get that all the time.
Oh, yes. Sometimes I wish I were in some other business.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Come on in. Sit down.
I hope you don't mind my coming out to discuss business in the evening, but
When something as important as the life of a tree is concerned, I do like to talk to the husband and wife together.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Now, too many people feel that trees are just trees. Let them grow or cut them down. Why worry about them?
Oh, well, we don't feel that way.
Oh, no.
Well, it's hard to believe, but there are people who feel that way. But when I see a tree that is dying for lack of care and attention, I feel sad, as though it were a member of my own family.
Yeah.
So it warms my heart when I find two sensitive people who feel as I do.
Yeah.
Now, I don't wish to alarm you, but there's considerable work to be done.
Yes, well, I was discussing it with my wife, Mr. Birch, and I said perhaps if that hole in the trunk of the tree were filled in with a little cement, I guess that's what you use, it would strengthen it.
Exactly. Now, we don't always recommend filling a cavity of that size, but if you want to save the tree...
Well, my goodness, we certainly do. I love that maple tree.
After all, the real strength of a tree is not in the inner trunk of a tree, but in the outer layer, which I examined carefully, and it is solid.
But it would strengthen the tree to fill in the cavity.
Oh, yes. Yes. Everything helps, Mr. Piper. You see, any neglected opening allows the entrance of moisture and fungus disease, and promotes very rapid decay, to say nothing of becoming a breeding place for tree-killing insects.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we ought to have something done, dear, don't you?
Yes, I'm
Of course,
afraid so.
we do a very thorough job. Dig out the rot, put in the necessary bracings, and fill the cavity properly. This is, I might add, one of the things we specialize in. For an improperly filled cavity can be just as dangerous as one that is not treated at all.
Yes, I see. Well, I think we'd better have it done.
Yes, I do too, dear. We'd feel better, dear. I certainly know that I would. I don't want to feel nervous every time we have a windstorm.
Well, of course, there's another thing. Pruning. It's an old tree. It is top-heavy, and I recommend pruning some of the top branches.
Some of the top branches? I don't want it to spoil the looks of the tree.
Oh, now, honey, they know what they're doing, for goodness sake.
Yes, indeed. And one of our first considerations is keeping the beauty and symmetry of the tree itself.
Yes, I'm sure it is, Mr. Birch. How much would all this cost?
Well, I've drawn up an estimate, Mr. Piper, of the work that I feel should be done on all your trees, and...
On all our trees?
Oh, yes. And, as I said, there is considerable work to be done.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Yes, indeed. There are girdling roots that will, in time, kill those lovely oak trees. Your birch clumps must be thinned out, and there's a great deal of bracing needed on the elms. Of course, we would give a more thorough inspection, and my estimate includes the crown, leaders, cables, bolts, tie rods, and so forth, that will be necessary for the bracings needed. For safety precautions.
Oh, my goodness, all that...
My estimate also includes a supplementary feeding, which we will give those trees which need it, and the installation of the cavity filling. Also, all necessary pruning. It does not include handling the underbrush, which we'd be glad to take care of, but there would be an additional charge.
Oh, no, look here, Mr. Birch.
I dislike saying this, Mr. Piper, but I'm afraid you have rather let matters slide.
Let matters slide? Look, we just moved out here. We just built this house. This was woods, all this. And if anybody has let matters slide, it's Mother Nature.
Yes, well, even Mother Nature...
Look, these trees have been getting along out here all by themselves, getting along just fine. Now, suddenly, they need to be propped up and fed like a bunch of babies.
Piper, I can only give you my opinion based on 30 years in the tree business. I presume you moved out here because you love the trees. So, if you wish to save them...
How much?
Here's the estimate. I don't see why we can't do it all very nicely for, as you see there, for $1,800. Of course, as I say, that does not... $1,800? Your cavity filling alone, Mr. Piper, is $1,200.
$1,800?
Well, Mr. Piper, all I can say is if you're a man who loves trees...
Look, at this moment, Mr. Birch, I'm a man who hates trees, and I'll tell you something else.
Dear, dear.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. Here's a reminder that comes straight from the heart, and it's one I hope you'll take straight to yours. You probably know that February is Heart Month. I wish we could all see at close hand what's been done with the money we all gave in the past. One after another, grants in aid for research projects have turned laboratory experiments into human gains. the heart-lung machine that makes new kinds of heart surgery possible and successful, advanced research on nutrition and diet, on safe workloads for people recovering from heart attacks, scientific kitchen layouts to cut down extra steps, booklets on how to distribute your workload better. The most involved medical challenges down to the smallest project for saving hearts in the home and office have been made possible by what we gave in years gone by. But there are more lives to save, more puzzles to unravel. So give again to your local heart fund. And don't hesitate to take your heart questions and problems to the same place.
Really, I don't know when I've been so ashamed of you shouting like that. That poor Mr. Birch, honey, the way you talked to him was just downright vulgar.
Well, I don't care. Vulgar or not. It makes me so darn mad.
Well, it isn't his fault the trees need something done about them. He was only giving us his opinion.
Look, those trees can rot and fall down as far as I'm concerned. I'm certainly not spending any $1,800. I haven't got it to spend.
I thought Mr. Birch was very nice considering all the things you said.
Yeah.
He told you to call some other tree companies and get other estimates.
Look, I just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Well, what are you going to do about the trees?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Look, they were just fine until we came along. Now, why should they all suddenly be in a state of collapse?
Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about trees.
$1,800.
But it would cost us a lot more if one of them did topple over on the house. That maple tree would fall right on Betsy's room. She might even be killed.
Oh, now look, don't, will you please?
Well, isn't it true?
I don't know. I tell you, you try to live right, something like this comes along, you don't know whether you're being taken or not. You're just at the mercy of these guys.
Well, let's do as he suggested and look up some other tree companies and get estimates from them all. Then we'll decide what to do. I'm sure Mr. Birch was giving us his honest opinion.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And as Mr. Birch said, we don't have to have everything done at once.
Yeah. Boy, look at this estimate. Pruning, feeding, underground care. What's that? Spraying, therapeutic treatment of sap. Sap, boy, that must mean me, after I get the bill.
Oh, honey, no. Have you had your soup today? Campbell's, of course. Campbell's, of course. Once a day, every day, you should have a bowl of Campbell's soup. Have some Campbell's right now.
And by the way, do you have plenty of Campbell's wonderful tomato soup on hand? Serve it to your family in generous-sized bowls full, or use it as a quick and easy sauce for cooking. Stock up on plenty of Campbell's nourishing good tomato soup today. The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Ethel and Bunce with Charles Mendick and Stuart Germain and is produced by Walter Hart.